And just being good to one another.
The people at the top collaborate, and the people that are at the bottom compete.
Find yourself, be happy, and good things will happen.
Justice for Taco Bell.
It was everywhere.
Which I've come close to freezing to death a couple times. That one's super pleasant.
What?
Are you serious?
It can't hurt walking around in life thinking you're doing it.
Yeah, you guys are doing a good thing here. This is very good.
I genuinely love this conversation.
I love the Motive Podcast.
Welcome back to the Motive Podcast. I'm your host, Leo Kosach. Alongside me is my co-host, Kyle Cohen. And joining us today, we have a gym and fitness influencer amassing almost 170,000 followers across platforms like Instagram and TikTok, and a creator for the popular brand Gymshark, Mr. Tyler Petroff. Thank you for coming,
What's up,
Tyler.
guys? Thank you very much for having me on.
And you drove a little bit to be here, so we appreciate your time. Appreciate your travels. But speaking of that, so you said you're from Harrisburg, right?
Yeah, I'm from Camp Hill, but
Camp
you know,
Hill.
past year and a half, I've been coming out to King of Prussia, Philadelphia area to go to the gym every weekend. So I practically should just live here. Yeah, absolutely.
So have you always? So you get a power build in KOP, correct?
Power build down in King of Prussia, and then also we just got a new location, Warrington.
Okay.
I go to Warrington more often just because it's a new gym. I love it. Huge ceilings. That's one of my favorite things. That like it's very open. Again, background's aesthetically pleasing. So what's not to love there?
Yeah, 100%. Have you tried out other gyms in the area? Like, what about Lifetime? Because that's a huge complex, right? I'm not familiar with it at all.
I haven't tried Lifetime. I've tried Fusion. Fusion doesn't like me. I went to their opening, and I went to the opening for both gyms. Very different gym styles compared to Power Build. Obviously, we do powerlifting and bodybuilding specifically, but just how they present themselves as a company is very unique. I'm not for it, so personally, if you go to Fusion, pull up to Power Build instead. But yeah, very unique company.
Okay.
110%.
So I just want to start early life though before we get further into the gym. So growing up, Camp Hill, out in the Harrisburg area, how was like your academic life? How was your childhood? Like fitness as a kid? Did you play sports? All that good stuff.
So I grew up in Camp Hill. I've lived in Camp Hill pretty much my whole life. Parents are divorced. I live with my mom. Shout out my mom. Wouldn't be where I am without you. I grew up playing baseball, only baseball. I had like a lot of hobbies. I BMX, dirt bikes, you name it. Anything with a motor I was into.
What dirt bikes were you ripping?
I've got a YZ250 and an LTR 450. Both of them I need to fix, but I own them, so they're fine.
I gotta get a bike. I want a YZ125.
I love them. They're great bikes.
Because I got my first bike last year, just like a starter. I was like, so I have a go-kart. And I just love go-karts. I love cars. I love four wheels and a steering wheel, but I'm like, let me try this bike thing. So I got like a very like starter mid-size bike. It was like KLX 140L Kawasaki.
Little pet bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great bikes.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I want to get like a two-stroke.
You
Try
seem
something
like you had a lot of
bigger.
issues with it, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a lot of issues with it, and it was just like, I mean, that's like every like
The issues
little
vary.
small motor, but whatever.
Dude, I've had that 250 since probably 2011. It's a 2004, and like it should have blown up 5 times now. Hasn't blown up once. All it is just your luck with maintenance and who's owned it before you. But like those are cool bikes. So.
Yeah, but yeah. So what you were doing? Dirt bikes.
Dirt bikes, just everything under the sun of like dangerous hobbies that I probably had no business getting into. And then probably around the age of 14, 15, I had a couple friends that would go to the gym, and I was the skinniest of all of them. I was like $115 soaking wet when I was like 14, 15 years old. And I started just going to the gym because, I get bullied for my weight and all that stuff, typical stuff with kids. And had poor eating habits. And since then, I've been lifting 7 years now. I'm 22 now. So, and it just slowly evolved. I was watching David Lade, Lex Little, James English, all those people, growing up. And here I am now, an influencer myself. I wouldn't have it any other way, though.
Yeah, 100%. So as a kid in high school, where were you at? What do you say? Like academically, how were you? And when did you get into the gym? What was like your gym routine, stuff like that?
So I was all right in high school. I overall did all my homework. Wasn't the best test taker. Didn't go to college. I'm in the trades.
There you go.
And I would say like going to the gym when I was in high school was some of the best times of my life. It's the simple and little things in life that I really appreciate. My grandmother would pick me up every day after school, and would take me to the gym, and it was like 7 days a week. So I couldn't drive. I was 15 at the time, so like my grandma would come by, pick me up. I learned how to drive, from going to my house to the gym. Sometimes my mom would pick me up afterwards, bring my dog, like stupid stuff like that, like little things. And like looking back, like those are some like my favorite moments, just something small that people would do for me, and now here I am.
Gotta appreciate the little things.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Kyle, speaking of, how's football going? I've been meaning to ask
Football.
you.
Yeah, first week is done, so it's cool. It's been a tough, hard week of practices and lifts, but it's been good. So yeah, getting excited for the season.
So what position are you playing?
Linebacker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Looking forward to that Academy Park game, baby. Shout out Motive Podcast game day. Y'all
excited,
better be
so,
there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been good.
Oh, yo, wait, did I tell you about the story with sorry, we're getting off track here, but I get a call from the parking lady at her school, right? And the phone
Where are you going with this?
I'm getting called by this lady, and the name on the phone says Coach Stevens. So I'm like, is this the football coach from my school? And so I picked it up, and it was the parking lady, and it caught me really off guard. Anyway.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, sorry. But anyway, yeah, great times at Westchester East High School. But anyway, back to your high school experience. So where would you say you were at the end of high school?
At the end of high school, like lifts wise, or like
Lifts wise, and like kind of what you wanted to do with your life.
Yeah, like how'd you get into trades and all that?
So how I got into the trades is I have a cabin, and we were doing an addition at the time, and I had one of my relatives that were into electrical asked me if I want to help out, so I ran and helped him with doing like just simple bare minimum electrical stuff. And that's what really got my interest into it, because I like building, I like hands-on stuff, I like being able to build something, look back at it and see what I've done. So again, I was getting into the gym, and I was like, I feel electrical is one of the least labor taxing trades. You got concrete, you've got HVAC, you've got welding. All of them have their pros and cons, but electrical is one of the more less physically demanding trades, in my opinion. Some people would argue that it's not. That's my point of view, though. I'm looking at other people with what they have to carry around all day, all the stuff they have to do. I don't see myself doing that all the time. Most I gotta do is move wire and just pick up spools. Again, they're heavy, but they roll, so it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
I would say at the end of high school, probably having a social media presence was not on my bingo card for what I had going for me. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
truly. Whenever, actually, this is actually exactly how this happened. Corona happened, like every other good story starts. Corona happened, and I had a Finsta page. It was called Mookie because I have big ears, so I called it like Mookie Lifts. Some other just another gym page. And whenever Corona started, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start actually posting my gym content, because like kids make fun of me, like, oh, all you do is go to the gym, and like you still look like you don't go to the gym, you're not strong. All the stupid stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make my own fitness account. I'm just going to post everything. And, I put the very first post is all of my lifts, my squat, my bench, and my deadlift, all of them. Just like, this is where I'm starting out at. This is my body weight. Here we go. It's still there. And just from there, I just post all my lifts. I just post my physique, everything. So I have like every video of every day I went to the gym from 2020, even back 2019. I have every lift like recorded. I have every lift. I know for a fact that I have it. I stopped doing it, and it upsets me that I stopped. I have every lift that I ever did from like 2017 written down.
Okay.
I stopped whenever 21 came around, 2022. I don't know why I stopped. I stopped doing it, but I have like back from when I can only squat 95 pounds. I have it in the book. It's in my closet.
Interesting.
That's like one of my biggest accomplishments. That I still have that book, because I know a lot of people never did it.
Like having all that data to look
I
back
have
on.
all the data that I've like pictures, videos, notebooks, everything.
You know what's interesting? I bet, could you see where your progress was like the most
Easily.
rapid? Like you could see like, oh, what was I doing then to like be progressing the quickest,
Genuinely, it's either right now or it was 2 years ago before I smoked my back. So those 2 times I'm making the most progress, and then it like stagnates with genuinely my lifts go down the most when I am not focusing on outside sources. Like I always train hard in the gym, but like people don't understand what you do outside the gym impacts the gym much more than they'd like to admit.
You mean like diet wise or other things?
I'm not even talking diet wise. I'm talking sleep. I'm talking mental, like who you hang out with and everything. Like if you've got, for example, biggest thing is like if you have a girlfriend that stresses you out and like, makes you have to like, stress out with like, I gotta go to the gym today, but I also gotta do this. Like that even goes with friends. Like that stress alone is gonna inflect your lifts. You're gonna rush stuff. You're gonna forget stuff. You're gonna skip stuff. Skip stuff you don't want to skip, and then you might injure yourself. You might, really look back 6 months later, and be like, wow, I haven't made any progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. What was I gonna say? Now I'm drawing a blank. Dude, I swear I haven't drawn a blank in like 3 episodes. Oh, I was gonna mention the data, because like that's such an interesting part of sports, because like I know just like golfers specifically, like there's this one guy, Matt Fitzpatrick. He like every single putt he has like literally like huge bins full of logbooks of every putt since like 12 years old. Like the distance, the slope, like it's just insane like how detailed you can get with like tracking. And some people love it and then some people hate it.
But it works.
Yeah.
Like people don't like want to say it, but like it works. Like if I tell you I wrote down everything I ever did from doing, not even just write down your compounds, write down how much you bench. Like I would write down, I would do dumbbell press, I would do flies. I wrote down the weight for everything, and then I would just look back like, I was doing this weight like 3 weeks ago. All right, let's bump it up a notch. And then that was when I was doing pretty good with progress. But the biggest thing is that like growing up, I was a picky eater. So from the age of like 14, 15, when I first started lifting to like 18, the progress that I made would have been amplified by like tenfold if I just ate properly and actually like, ate food. Like I was like a malnourished teen. Like I just didn't eat. That's all it was. Truly. I could eat McDonald's every day. And yeah, it's unhealthy, but it's calories that I wasn't giving myself. Like now, all I eat is ground beef, white rice, and I've ate that probably for well over a year and a half now, and I've made more progress than ever because I have an actual diet now, and my body's actually being fueled with the nutrients that I need. Because sure, you can go to the gym, train all you want, train as hard as you want, but if you don't have something to build off of, you're not gonna make progress.
Yeah, without a doubt. Do you do like supplements a lot?
I do supplements and vitamins, but other than that, I try to get everything from food.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on creatine?
Creatine's
Like,
amazing.
I think it's awesome. You use
It's
it?
amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think only good for lifting, or do you think it could be for like athletic performance too? That's my question as like somebody who plays sports, right?
That's a really good question, because there has been when I first got into the gym, there wasn't a lot of research done on creatine alone.
Right.
But
I feel like since 2020, it's so much now.
Oh my God, yeah. And creatine's been looked into for cognitive focus with the brain development. So I think creatine is really good supplement to just do overall if you are an athlete. Definitely if you are into lifting, especially powerlifting, creatine is a very useful tool to use. Again, if you do use creatine, you do have to drink a lot more because, it does retain water and all that fun stuff. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think it's a great thing to supplement in.
What exactly does it do for the body? Do you know, like, what your understanding of it is? Like, I guess, I feel like I've heard a few people would say different things, and I guess I'm not fully, I don't have a full understanding of what it does.
So it helps retain your body retain water at a much more efficient basis. So, creatine is found in red meat. There's no way, shape, or form that you can, get enough creatine from red meat, so that's why you can supplement it in.
Right.
Again, you have to drink a lot of water when you do take it, but overall, it just your muscles live for water. Right. So if you can get more water going to your muscles, there's really no cons to that. Now, you can look a lot more puffy, but like you'd have to be taking like 10, 15 milligrams of that a day for you to look like that. Yeah. I never experienced that. I know friends that would like get a lot thicker whenever they would take it, but it's because, they were probably drinking a lot more water or taking a lot more.
So it can make you look fuller, but it does make you stronger too.
Yeah, it does make you more. Yeah, just overall, you're making your muscles have a lot more water and able to be like, they'll be healthier, they'll recover better, etc.
What about like it? But like, is there like a withdrawal to creatine though? Like if you stop creatine, like your performance, like you're gonna feel like.
I really don't think so. I mean, some people claim to. I mean, same thing with like ashwagandha. People are like, "Oh, I'm emotionless now." It's like, no, it's weird.
So I was talking with someone last week at this run club, and he was saying, because I was asking him about supplements, like if he's ever taken stuff, and he said so the other guy there, he looks great. He does he was talking about like all natural supplements. Like he was taking like a pill that was like bull testicle,
That's
liver,
weird.
like
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? So anyway, this guy's all about like natural supplements, and it works for him. But then I guess like the other guy there, who's like, yeah, I'll try it, and then he was like just. I forget exactly what he said, but he was saying like in his sleep, like he just like couldn't sleep. He was like having like crazy, like I don't know if it was like, I don't think he said he was hallucinating, but just bad sleep, and then just weird, he felt very weird. And he said he went to the doctor, and he was like, you either have a very he was like, I think there was like an autoimmune issue, or he had leukemia, and he's like, I'm done with this. I'm not taking anything else. So that was interesting to hear. But the other guy loves it and says he feels great on all the natural stuff. So I guess it really just depends.
Yeah, that's going to depend on who you are as a person. I mean, if you're taking all natural stuff, I don't know what you would be taking that would give you leukemia. That's interesting, but you never know. I mean, some people react differently. I'd only take like small vitamins. Like it's nothing crazy. It's like vitamin D3, B12, B6.
Flintstones vitamins.
Oh hell yeah, you know how it is. But also people don't, neglect to know that like the vitamins that you take in like can really help you with like sleeping and just overall like digestion and being able to like perform much better in the gym. They're not steroids are not going to give you like the secret to success, but it does help you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I've heard? So a lot of people take that as like just great for overall health, not necessarily athletic performance or whatever. Is like magnesium. You
Oh
just take
yeah, magnesium helps amazing for sleep as well.
Yeah, I think it's like a lot of just aspects like sleep and other things like that. I guess like even mentally, I think.
Oh, yeah.
it's weird, like things you wouldn't expect that helps you. But
Yeah. I do like the athletic greens every morning. Just I like it. Something like just seems healthy.
Never really got into the greens, but I do know that a lot of people that take it do stand by it for their overall digestive.
It's good. It's good.
is it,
no
is it how
complaints.
horrible is it tasting though?
Okay, so
You have to suffer through it. Or?
I haven't actually had the legit athletic greens. That's like the main one. That's like, it's like $140, $120 like a thing. I was like, I'm not going to pay that yet. So I started with this one that was like called like super greens or something.
Same
it was like
thing.
Off brand.
It's the same thing.
So anyway, I took that. I started taking that last year. Horrible. The worst tasting, but I got through. I was just like, all right, we'll take it every morning. Yeah. So then anyway, then I got on, when we had Amalia on the podcast, she told us about Bloom.
Yep, that's like the common.
I started taking Bloom. I feel like a little white girl, but whatever. I take Bloom, strawberry, kiwi, greens. It's all right. All right,
you feel better taking it.
Yeah, it's something. Hey, at least you get the water in it. You're hydrated, so you drink a full glass of water. Can't be bad for you to start the morning.
No, you're fine.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, but so at the end of high school, where were you at? And did you want to get into? Did you go to trade school?
End of high school, because again, Corona was going on. I ended up getting a job at FedEx. So legally, I should not have been working there because I did not have a high school diploma, and I was 18. I was 18. Yeah, I was 18. So, like, I was working night shift. So Corona started, and they were like, "You can do your homework, or like you don't. It's going to get counted toward your grades." And I was like, "Okay, well, I want to make money." And I saw they were offering like $18, $19 an hour for night shift. I was like, my one friend got in. I was like, I want to get in too. I hopped in, and it was really funny because like I would leave work at like 8 a.m. and I would have a teacher like, "Oh, why are you driving? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, where are you driving to?" I'm like, "I just got off work." And it's just like it's a fun experience, definitely a humbling experience. Night shift is not fun, especially if it's labor. Back pain, sleep deprivation. You will never get a proper sleep schedule with sleeping night shift, no matter what anyone says. Either you're sleeping twice in one day, or you're sleeping the whole time that it's daylight out. Very bad for your mental health. Horrible.
Yeah.
It was definitely something else. I did make a bunch of money. That was great. I was making some days like 25 an hour at 18 in 2020. So that was like really good money. So that was cool. But like definitely I feel that was a very important life experience to like, go through, working night shift, and it was fun. It was cool, but for longevity, hell no.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine like that being like your lifelong career.
No, and just the back pain, and then it's pretty depressing. I'm not even gonna lie, it's sad. But
I mean,
something crucial about sunlight for your
Oh yeah,
mental health. not only the vitamins from it or whatever. 'cause,
Like
you get-
imagine like on a day as nice as it is today. Imagine just like sleeping through this and having to get up tonight. Like
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you working night shifts if you were sleeping all day would be like, your like winter depression like times 10.
That's all it is. All day, all year long.
Yeah,
all year long.
Sounds awful. I
Yeah.
can't even imagine.
So how did you find yourself at Power Build?
So I have a very good friend of mine. His name is Dimitri Forney, and he back when I first started lifting again when I was in high school, he came up to me at LA Fitness and told me I was on a hammer strength machine from lats, and he came up to me and was like, "Hey, I see you put in the work every day, and I just want to say I admire it, and I just want to give you the props for what you're doing, man. Keep it up." And I was like, no way, the biggest dude in the commercial gym. When I first started out lifting, dude, I was like, tickled pink, bro. I thought it was like a celebrity talk to me. You're like 220 pounds, lean as hell. I'm like, all right, cool, sweet. All right, man will watch me. So I met him, became really good friends with him, and I would hang out with him. He was like, hey, do you want to come down to this gym, Power Build, for New Year's? I was like, yeah, absolutely. So we went down there, me and a couple of my friends went down to Power Build gym in Conshohocken, and we went there for the New Year's Eve party, and I was talking to the owner, Colin Whitney, and I was just like amazed with the gym and all that stuff. It was great. First time in a powerlifting gym, calibrated plates, different barbells, ER racks, all the fun stuff. And I looked like an idiot. I want to point that out. I'm 99% sure there's a video of me when I was there. I looked like an idiot. I looked like I had no place being there because I didn't. And it was great. But after I went there for the first time, I went there a second time. I talked to Colin, and I was like, I want to be an athlete for you one of these days. Like, trust me, I want to. Like, I want to be working with your gym. I love it here, and I want to see like what I can like end up doing. And here we are, 3 years later. I'm one of his athletes. I've been coached with him for over 2.5 years, and I do a lot of stuff for him. And I love him. I love him. I love the company he's built. I have the utmost respect for that man as well. Same with Dimitri too. I wouldn't be here without him.
It's awesome. So explain to like our audience that like isn't familiar with the fitness world at all. Like, what's the difference between like a normal gym and then like say Power Build? Like, what's the biggest difference?
Power Build allows me to scream my head off at lifts, so that's fun. But no, so a commercial gym just has your basic gym equipment, pound plates, whatever it may be. You go in there, you get your work, you put in your work, you go out, you're done. That's all you gotta do. There's no problem with going to a commercial gym, but again, if you want to take your lifting seriously, going to a gym like Power Build Gym is much more beneficial. You have calibrated plates, you have the barbells you need to compete with, you have platforms, you have ER racks. There isn't really any rules. There's not gonna be like, hey, look, you can't, hype yourself up. Hey, you can't yell, you can't slam a barbell. Like, you can be your own person. If you need someone to hype you up to go squat 600 pounds, let it happen. There's no big deal. The biggest thing, again, is with having a private gym like Power Build or any gym that's a powerlifting gym, is that there's going to be high quality, very nice equipment that a lot of commercial gyms do not carry. For example, a reverse hyper. Not many commercial gyms carry those. I don't think any carry those. And that's one of the best workouts you can do for your lower back and lower lumbar. You've got, again, deadlift bars. Commercial gyms don't carry deadlift bars. Private gyms do. So overall, if you're coming to Power Build, you're just getting a much better, high quality experience.
What's
for
a
that
deadlift
gym.
bar? I never heard of that. Like, what is that besides regular barbell?
Different federations have different barbells. Either it's like a power bar, which is Ohio or Texas by the company, or there's a Texas deadlift bar, which is the federation that I personally use. And it's just a barbell that is a little bit longer, it's thinner, and has a lot more whip. So when you go to deadlift, there's a little bit more slack and play within that bar, and it just bends a lot more. So then when you do go to pull yourself in, there's leverage, and a lot of people can pull more weight on a deadlift bar, but at the end of the day, it's just whatever federation you compete with is the barbell you want to use.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
Good to know.
I think there's a guy that goes to Arsenal that goes to Power Build. He was telling me about it, so I've seen it around. It looks sick for sure.
No, it's a great gym overall. Even if you're not a powerlifter or a bodybuilder, it's a great gym to go to. I mean, you see people of all ages, of all progression rates. There are people in their 40s, people that are in high school, like you said. It's really anyone can go. There's no reason not to go. It's not a scary place.
Yeah. So is the atmosphere overall there? You said it's just very
Amazing.
You could
Top
do
tier.
anything.
I've never had a bad time at Power Build, but just speaking from experience, I've had a lot of people come out to lift with me there from all over. I had a kid from Erie drive 3 hours to live with me at that gym. And no, I've never heard anyone have a bad experience at that gym. The community is amazing. there's not a single person in that gym that would, degrade or, make fun of you for not knowing something. Everyone's there to help each other out, be enthusiastic for someone's lift. I always tell everyone, whether you're benching 135 or benching 405, I'm just going to treat you the same way. I want to hype you up, be happy for your accomplishment, PR, whatever it may be. Definitely the most unique thing with Powerbuild is that you can ask anyone any question and someone's going to give you a quality answer.
Yeah.
You might not know how to use a piece of equipment. You might not, understand why someone's lifting the way they're doing, and someone will tell you exactly what they're doing and have no problem with doing that.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good culture.
Yeah. So when did you start like truly building your audience with like the lifting socials and all that stuff, building your audience, growing, expanding? When did that truly start for you?
I think around 2021 is when it really started kicking up. Again, I was posting just on TikTok, basic lifts of like me and my friends. A couple of them gained a little bit of traction, whatever. I posted a clip. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Nitro Circus, like Travis Pastrana and all that stuff. And there was a trend with Mike Wazowski where his it was like, looking up to someone, like admiring someone for what they did, right? I posted the video of Travis Pastrana doing a double backflip at the X Games because it was just someone I always watched. And that video got like 200,000 views. I was like, what the hell? I've never experienced that. So like, all right, cool. And now my page just gained like 1,500 followers off a random video. Cool. I'm just going to keep posting. And I posted a video of me squatting with my nose bleeding, and it went crazy. And I posted another one, went crazy again, and got like 100,000 views, 200,000 views. But that alone, like I didn't know how to react to that. So like, here I am. I think I was 18, 19. And I never had a video go up like that. And again, I'm like my nose is bleeding at a commercial gym with 315 on my back. This isn't something crazy where you're squatting like a world record and like your face is bleeding, anything. No, it's nothing cool. It's mediocre. And I didn't know how to respond to this. I've got, 200,000 people watch this and they're commenting, like coming at me. And I was like replying to like every comment. I bet if you find that video, there's probably like 2,000 comments on that video, and half of them probably me. So that was very interesting, a very humbling experience to like realize like, yeah, you don't need to do that. Like you're wasting your time. Because people were like coming at me like, dude, why would you do that? Like why is your face bleeding? Like your face should be bleeding for 315. Stupid stuff like that. I still experienced that, but I know how to deal with it. And then just from then, like I just kept going with it. I've always been a tense lifter. I've always been someone to be like, I have to get aggressive when I lift. Otherwise, I overthink everything, and I fail or like the lift doesn't look good. So if I just get in the right mindset, and not to sound corny, but like if I just lock in until like where I need to be, everything just flows much better. So people think it's like an act or like just like me faking it for views, and like it genuinely like isn't. Like you can ask any of my friends, like for people who've been lifting with me before I even had any followers, like I've always been like this. But like I try to encourage people and be like, look, have fun in the gym. Like if you have an accomplishment, like if you're hyped up, you just pulled 600 pounds, 300 pounds, whatever it may be, and you're excited and you're hyped up, dude, like do it. Like have fun. Like there's no need to be like, oh, I gotta be quiet. I'm humble. Like that's weird. Like I've never understood that.
Would you consider yourself an aggressive person overall?
Overall, I mean, I think, yeah, a little bit, but like, I'm not like hostile. I'm not an ignorant person. I pride myself in being a very respectful person. Every gym that I go to and my home gym, I've told the owner, like, look, like I'm a very aggressive, like lifter. If this isn't okay, I can change gyms or I just won't do it. Like I use kilos. They're expensive. I'm like, look, if you don't want to use the kilos, I'll use pound plates, bar plates, whatever it may be. Like I am a very respectful person. Obviously that does not look like I'm a respectful person from what I post, but I do pride myself in the fact that like, hey, look, like, and I'm not ignorant. I'm very, polite and nice with who I talk to and who I like, associate myself with.
Yeah, and I feel like the discipline of like hitting the gym is definitely like a good like adaptation for anyone that is feeling aggressive or stuff like that. Like without a doubt, like it's an outlet.
Yeah.
I also want to say, I really too, your mindset you have, like just so that you can actually like, don't overthink whatever you said, just so you have to be aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Like my mindset, like when I lift, is I have to be in a mindset where like if I'm doing something like heavier or maxing out, whatever it is, I'm like I need to like believe, like I think if I don't believe like, oh, this is actually going to be light, and I don't actually have that in my mind, then I'm not going to be able to perform as well. It's weird like how much it actually helps. I'm like, oh, this is light, I can do this. This is not going to be hard. Like, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm gonna try less. Like, it actually just like in my mind, it's like, oh, this isn't light, and then it helps me. I don't really know why. It just does.
Yeah, like my favorite thing is like numerous times where like I would be warming up on a lift and like the last warm up would move absolutely horribly. Like, it would move very slow, and my friend's like, "Are you going up?" Like, "Oh yeah, watch this." And I'll put on another 20, 30 pounds, and it'll move much faster because it's like I just had to like dial in and just get in the right mindset, and it moves much better. And a lot of people don't like in powerlifting, people sometimes will say like you have to sandbag stuff, and like it's like no, like you have to like put in the effort. Same amount of effort you would treat for like a PR, you need to treat that for a RPE 6 single. So it's like if you don't go in with the same mentality with lighter weight stuff, you're not gonna I don't feel like you're gonna have the same performance as you would for a heavier set. Like you have to have the same mentality for everything.
Yeah, it is crazy how much mental it is. Just all with lifting and any sports performance. I feel like.
Well, because people ask like how I like do it, like with like how do you get so amped up, like how do you like lift the way you do? Because I lift heavy, like moderate, like for my weight and like what I do and how consistently I do it. I lift really heavy for how consistently I do it. And people always ask like how. It's just like it's the mindset. That's all I have to do. Like if I go into that gym with a weak mindset of like, oh, this might not happen, blah blah blah. Like no, like then it's not gonna happen. But if I walk in there, I'm like, no, it's gonna happen. Watch, and I'm being serious. Watch, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Watch.
100%.
And it always ends up happening.
Yeah, without a doubt. You were talking about like you mentioned like having friends around you. Like how important is it to you to have like other people around you like pushing you? And like you mentioned like you can also get very distracted hanging around the wrong people. I mean, obviously that applies to like everything you do, but like how important is it having supportive people around you in the gym?
It is very important to have like-minded people within the gym and even outside the gym, obviously. But it's very, very unique in my situation because of the way that I present myself in the gym and just overall. It's almost like no matter what situation I put myself into, I'm almost like the ringleader of it. Like if I'm in the gym, right, and I want to get hyped up, like we're all having a deadlift session. No one ever like matches the same energy that I bring, which is understandable. I am who I am, and there's a reason why I have that following is because people follow me for who I am, and no one can really match it. I'm a lot of people know me for my voice, but like my voice becomes really raspy when I get hyped up, and people can identify my voice. I've had people tag me in videos in the background and be like, I can hear Tyler, and it's like me screaming. Like it's like I think that's always been cool, but like the biggest thing that I've noticed is that like you need people to match the energy that you carry, and it's very hard for me to do that because again, like I'm the one always hyped up, bringing the energy to other people, but no one ever really brings it to the table for me. Like you can watch in my videos, I'll get hyped up for them, same exact session, but they won't do it back for me just because that's not who they are. But that's okay. Like you can be different, but like people don't understand. Like to find someone that does the stuff that I do, like it's very hard, hard to find.
Yeah, 100%. You were talking about getting hyped up for the lifts. What's that one song you were talking about that you lift to? I forget what it was called.
What?
There's like one song that you've told me about that's like, oh, it gets me going. Anyway,
Dude, I can't remember
anyway, I don't know
right
if you have it, but what do you listen to music when you lift?
All right, so
I think it's a stupid question. Who raw dogs lifts like that?
So when it comes to like what I listen to in the gym, this is gonna sound very corny and stupid. First of all, I listen to X. I listen to like Sippin' Tea, and I listen to like Floor 55 or like any extra song from X of him screaming. I listen to a lot of those. But I'm gonna be 110%. I listen to TikTok audios. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
I will listen to TikTok audios 24/7. And it's only because of the bass. Like SoundCloud and Spotify restricts their audios to only have so much bass, but TikTok audios, like people can just crank the bass out of them, and it just puts me in the zone. I love them.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like this is gonna again sound corny. I don't care. Back in like 2020, 2021, I was traveling for work, and like it was 2021 because I was an electrician by then. I was traveling for work, and I would actively watch videos of Mike Tyson fighting because it would amp me up. Like I thought it was awesome. 100%. I thought it was fun, and I would watch videos of him fighting or like highlights as I was going to the gym just to get me in the right mindset. And that would like every time my stuff was going crazy. I went from pulling like I think like 467 to like 501 within probably 3 months. Not saying that's what made it happen, but like that determination within that 3 month span was amazing.
Yeah. I'm guilty of watching some motivational videos during the workouts.
Oh,
too,
dude, they're great.
100%.
They're great. People call it corny, but like it works. Like, why are you gonna argue with what works? Like, that's the cool stuff. Like, if you're gonna let your like audio play or like a video play and it gets you going, why like, oh, dude, that's corny. Why would you do that? Oh, why would you do that? Just listen to music like a normal person. I don't want to. I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah, who
Well,
cares?
music is definitely like a performance enhancer.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Gotta be.
And that's why I read Goggins' book and he talks about it. He's like I don't like he calls music cheating, which
He's something different, bro.
he has the right to call it that. I don't think it's cheating, but I'm not gonna deny that it definitely does enhance performance 100%. It is harder to do your tasks without music, without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And it's just definitely a way to like keep yourself in the right mindset. Because again, you're in a gym. It's a public setting. There's gonna be background noises. There's gonna be people trying to talk to you. So
Yeah,
if you have
right.
headphones on, you're ideally gonna be doing much better because you're in your zone. You're
Right.
in your world. You don't have that going on. You got 50 other things going on in the background. Good luck trying to focus with that.
Yeah.
If you can, great. If you can't, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like something about music, like you were saying, like it just blocks out everything. It's just you, music, and pulling the weight and moving the weight. That's all it is. So
Speaking of, I was at the Zach Bryan concert Tuesday. It was great. It was awesome.
how is that speaking?
What?
Never mind.
We're talking about music.
Oh yeah.
Never
that's
listen to
facts.
Zach Bryan while I lift, but a great artist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not while you.
I was listening to
Nice.
him. Yeah, I've definitely gained the respect for him. I didn't love him before, but I definitely gained the respect.
Was
It
yours the one
awesome.
that was rain delay?
Yeah, rain delay, which honestly made it all the more fun because we were just all together chanting inside. And then when he finally went on, just like everyone was so hyped because it's like he went on at like 10:45, which was
Yeah,
insane.
You guys were just waiting.
And we
for-
tried to like everyone got on. Everyone had the idea to get down to the pit, like floor level, during the rain, and some people got in there. So we tried, but then everyone caught on. Like we tried to sneak onto the floor, but then they already had security down there at that point, so we had to get back to our seats. But it was an awesome experience. But night two, I think night one got duped. Night two, he brought out Bruce Springsteen,
And
the
Lumineers,
Lumineers,
yeah,
and
that's what
Shane
it-
Gillis. That was insane.
cool.
Yeah, Shane Gillis is from Mechanicsburg.
Yeah, I just recently learned that too, and like he came up on my Facebook friends, like just like people you may know, and I was like, why is Shane Gillis on my recommendations? And I was like, clicked, I was like, oh, this is real, this is crazy. Went
Yeah.
to high school like down the street from me, that was cool.
Yeah, he went to Trinity.
Yeah.
Do you know Trinity?
No, I went to Cedar Cliff, so like
Okay.
5 minutes from me. But like also on music, I used to listen to like hardstyle. That was really popular, like remixes
Yeah.
of like white girl
remixes are
music.
great, yeah.
And they were great. That music sometimes gives me a headache. Like I could only listen for so long, but like I also have some of the best lifts when I listen to it.
Yeah.
It's a time place because
Like
like
hardstyle was huge. COVID, like 2020, 2021.
oh my god, it was so
big.
good. But like
Yeah.
they're so overplayed. So like when they hit, they hit. But like now
Just
it's
like
like
any song.
oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
I was listening to this Katy Perry Firework times Disclosure remix. Fire. Just
Yeah.
absolutely fire today. It was great. The remixes are great. They're hype songs. And the EDM. Like EDM also.
Yeah, amazing.
I love listening to that. I definitely have gotten into more of the electronical stuff for like the runs and stuff like that. So all right, 2022, 2023, like where would you say your audience was at that point? Like a year or so ago?
So 2022 was like peak. I speak about this a lot. 2021, 2022 was like peak gym talk era. You had everyone getting along. There was no stupid stuff going on. Hardstyle was very popular. And just like my community as a whole, I had a chokehold on powerlifting because all I did was make these crazy hardstyle edits with like all my followers, supporters, my friends, just screaming, deadlifts, squats, everything. And around like 2022, the winter of 2022, it just went south and like everything just became really depressing. Like, oh, your girl left you. Oh, this is motivational. And it just like doesn't hit the same. My audience, I've always kept the same audience. I've never changed my content. It's the same stuff, ideally. I kind of had a little bit of a fall off era with 2023. Like I just wasn't in the right mental spot to like make quality content. I was just going through the motions, but it's 2024 and I'm doing better than ever. But 2021 was probably the best time for my content. I was trying to pull 500 pounds conventional. That was one of the most anticipated lifts of my career. Now we're almost at 600, so that's another one that everyone's like, down my throat for. But easily 2021 was one of the best. And there wasn't the TikTok shop. There wasn't everyone promoting their codes left and right. Like it was such a more natural environment to like posting, and like there was such a bigger community.
Seems more raw, which is just what people enjoy.
It was great.
Social media has been it's been so like it's like just even more work. Like it's just more of work than it was before.
I think people realized in 2022 that they can make a living, like a big living off of social media, and they just milked it to the point where like companies like they have a much higher expectations for you. Like companies back then used to just be like, look, wear clothing, you know, post a coder once in a while and be fine. Now they have much bigger requirements, and it's like little companies too. It's like, dude, like what, you're not even paying me an ample amount for all this stuff. I'm not posting all this stuff for my followers. No one likes that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't push codes down people's throats. Like, Gymshark's pretty much the only one I do because I am contracted to do like a couple story shares, then that's it.
And how did you land that? Gymshark.
That was probably one of the most interesting things to happen. So Jamal Browner pulled 500 kg, and for a lot of people that don't know, that 500 kg is well over 1,000 pounds for the deadlift. Not many people have done that. So he pulled 500 kg, and they sent out a celebratory shirt like, hey, we want you to be, we want to send you a package. So it was a Jamal Browner 500 kg cheese shirt from Gymshark. And I was like, sweet, that's great. Like, they DM'd me. It was awesome. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I've hit the, stage in my persona where I'm getting DM'd by Gymshark. It's crazy. So 2023 rolls around, and I was like telling my friends, like, I'm going to get with one of these big clothing brands. I don't care if it's Young LA, Gymshark. Honestly, I wanted Gymshark because I knew Gymshark more than Young LA, but Young LA was very popular at the time. So like I was like, I just want a really big clothing brand to work with. And I had connections to Gymshark, and I was like, look, I feel that I could bring you the 2016, 2018 David Lade vibes of like, hard style, aesthetics, powerlifting, and I think I'd be very useful for the team. And it, ended up being a really good connection. I was one of their first creators as a powerlifter, I believe, and I've been with them for almost well over a year and a half, almost 2 years, and I wouldn't have it any way. I think Gymshark's one of the best companies in the gym community, not only for their athletes and their creators, but definitely for the community. Last year and this year, they're hosting lifting events. I was down at the one in Miami for February, and it was free admission. You just have to RSVP through an email. It's free. I don't know any other company that's hosting, events for you to meet athletes and get clothing and stuff like that for free, just to walk on. And it's fun. It's a lifting event. You get to lift there. You get to meet people. I don't know anyone else is doing it like the way they do it, truly.
Yeah. That's all. Are there any other brands that you looked up to or anything like that? I mean, you mentioned Young LA, but...
Young LA was just one that was like very popular at the time, so I thought they were cool just because. Gymshark is the one that I've always looked up to because, again, I grew up in the fitness industry with like David Lade. He was a skinny kid. Everyone and their mom has seen the transformation video of David Lade from like 14 to 18, 19. It's a signature video. Everyone who goes to the gym, I don't care who you are, has watched that video, and that's one of the reasons why I started going to the gym when I watched that video as well. But again, Gymshark was one of the ones that I really want to work with. I've pretty much I've got every company that I've truly wanted to always worked with. Like I wouldn't want it any other way. I got Power Build. Power Build's a day one. Can't ever switch up on Power Build. I love them. Don't care. Will always rep them. Yeah. With Gymshark, I work with Zone Smelling Salts. I work with 100 for slippers, and I work with 110 for pre-workout. All the companies I've ever wanted, I now work with. So truly, I'm blessed.
Yeah. How do you like the smelling salts? So like smelling salts, so I played hockey for a while, and they're like huge in the hockey world.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't you say they got in the lacrosse too?
They're everywhere.
But I feel like
any physical sport, yeah.
They like started in hockey. I feel like for whatever reason they've been in hockey for like ever. Like since I was a kid growing up playing hockey, they're just all over the bench. But like, what's the deal with smelling salts?
Okay, so smelling salts are meant for people who get knocked out. People who are in the drive, ambulances will like crack those open so people, bring them back from like a coma or not a coma if they get knocked out. But they activate your adrenal glands. So if you sniff them, it gives you like a fake adrenaline rush. It's just a fake adrenaline rush. Yeah. So personally, my adrenal glands are probably fried. I've been doing this for way too long. So but there's different types. There's the snap ones, which are insane because they're medically, they're the medical ones, so they're up there. But then there's also companies that make smelling salts, and they're little bottles, and you just, shake them up real quick, and then you sniff them, whatever. I've been with Zone smelling salts for the last year, and they're probably one of the most amazing salts that you could get.
How so?
They don't die. Like a lot of those salts, they die out, they dry out. I've had bottles I've had for over a year. They don't dry out. Like they still have their scent.
They could just sniff it forever. Like
Yeah,
that
like
sounds
essentially
weird,
you not forever, but like I mean, I've had one bottle for well over 8 months, and they still hit really hard.
Right.
There's also scents. That's crazy. My favorite one is the one that smells like mint. It makes me want to run through a wall. There's also bubblegum. I think that's crazy as well. But like ammonia is a very unique thing because it's not going to make you stronger inherently. Like if someone asks me, if I take ammonia, am I going to be stronger? I'm going to say no. But if you use ammonia, you can be stronger because it's going to give you that fake adrenaline rush and it's going to get you like really amped up. Some people can't do it because, they're not ready for it. Like if you're a first time user and you're like, oh, let me sniff it, you're going to get hit with it so hard. It's going to catch you off guard and it's going to throw you off your lift. It's going to make your eyes water. You're not going to be ready for it. And you're going to sniff it. And you're whatever zone you were just in, you're like locked in, you just got ripped out of it. You're probably, can't see straight now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people take them and just like
I feel like it's a
crazy.
Yeah, it's a tolerance thing for sure. I feel
Oh
like,
yeah,
right?
and people will ask me like how I like because I'll get close, my face really close to it, and people don't understand like I cover it. Like I put my thumbs over the bottle so that I don't inhale it. One time this happened once, and it was because it got caught in the lid. I actually like inhaled it, and I got a chemical burn to my throat. That sucked. But like people are like, oh, how do you put your face so close? Because I cover it. Like I cover it so that it's not like amplified because you have to like warm yourself up to it. If you just put your nose in it, it's just gonna burn. You're not gonna get the feeling. But if you do it slowly and like let it like kind of like hit slowly, then it actually amplifies you, and then you're in the zone. You're ready to go. Yeah. But some people just you just gotta learn how to use it.
Yeah. I've used it a few times. It kind of just makes you feel like I can't even explain it. It just makes you feel like I'm ready, just like
it's fun
to take your energy out somewhere else.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah. So that's cool.
What is your strategy for building social media? Obviously, you have almost 50K on Instagram. You have well over 100K on TikTok. Like, what is the social media strategy overall?
Honestly, I tell this to anyone. It's luck. It's genuinely luck. It's the right place, right time. There is no. I mean, I have strategies with posting. Obviously, you don't want to post at like midnight. That's dumb.
Yeah.
I post from 9:30 a.m. I'll cut off at like 2. That's when latest time I'll post because we'll again 9:30 earliest, latest 3 p.m. That's when I feel is best time. But again, like reels have a much higher reach ratio versus slides. Slides are gonna do as well. Sometimes they'll do well, but more than likely your reels are gonna go much better. As far as content wise, I blew up because I was going to the gym, screaming my head off, and hitting PRs. So that's my niche. Like that's why I have to post. If I post my physique any way, shape, or form, it is not going anywhere. I don't understand why. I feel like I have a moderately good physique. It won't go anywhere. I don't know if the algorithm picks up what I'm doing. I know like it won't even get the views or the reach whenever I do that. So easily find your niche, find what suits you. And then another thing that people don't take into consideration, like, oh, I don't have any ideas. I don't know. What am I supposed to do? I want to, post. Every video is the exact same thing. It's been the exact same thing since TikTok started their transformation videos. Oh, I looked like this. Now I'm this. I used to do this. Now I do this. And it's a different audio. It's the same thing every time. But no one, really wants to talk about that. It's not that hard. I mean, I got lucky, and I just, kind of embraced it to the point where I was like, I'm going to make this way more fun. And I started, I feel I have a very dedicated following. Like, you can't really compare my following to anyone else's because, I interact with my followers. I become friends with them because I'm like, well, I wouldn't be here without you guys, and you're really cool to talk to. I've got kids that are 16 years old that follow me and they deadlift 700 pounds. I'm like, yo, that's cool. You want to be friends? Let's, I think that's neat. Send lifts back and forth, whatever. And I've had videos. I had a girl post my video and say it was toxic masculinity. They were like, this is pathetic. This is dumb. I made an ad out of it. Thank you. Content. Thank you very much. And I posted it, didn't even throw shade or anything like that. I just made the reel. And, the whole comment section was just full of like, oh, I like you, bro. Don't ever stop what you do. Support as always. And to the point where people actually started DMing her, and I did not want people to do that. Don't do that, but it was funny. People started DMing her and messaging her saying like, this is insane. Like, why would you do that? He does so much, blah, 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 blah. I thought that was neat, but like again, like I don't think people, understand like how much I've impacted a lot of people's lives. Like, sure, I'm just another kid that goes to the gym and I scream, I do whatever, but it's like I've given back to so many people, whether that's lifting gear, paying for stuff. I always give back to community. Every Christmas I do stuff, and like I don't talk about it, but I do really pride myself in the people who I've amassed as a following and support me, and I always try to give back to them.
Yeah, 100%. So what are the overall goals looking forward into the future, and with audience-wise, lifting-wise, and just overall goals in general?
All right, so audience-wise, I would like to be, just constantly growing. Doesn't matter what it is, constantly growing. I could say a number, 100K, 200,000, whatever it may be. I want to hit those numbers. I want to translate my audience to YouTube. That is a very difficult thing because, it's much longer to edit YouTube videos. To have someone video you for that long is also difficult. So it's not that I don't know how to do it. It's just the resources I feel I lack. But I can't really make excuses because Sam Sulek blew up out of nowhere because he was just doing raw video. So truly there's no excuse, but, I just haven't found the time to make those videos. So I'd really like to transfer my audience to YouTube for longevity. And then lifts. I want to deadlift 600 pounds. Very soon I will be doing that. Lifetime deadlift goal was 675 because 675 was the most amount of plates you could put on a barbell, I think, in my mind. I'm pretty sure it's 675. I always thought that was super cool. Squat, I'm coming up on 500. Hopefully, I'm at 446 right now, so hopefully 500 within the near future. And then bench 315, somewhere around there. I'm trying to fill out. I'm 163, 165 right now. I want to be like 170, 175 probably by next year. I've never bulked, I've never cut. I've always done like maintaining. I bulked from December till now, gained like 8 pounds. That's not a lot to a lot of people, but people don't understand. Like I did that in such a slow accumulating form that
So it's 8 good pounds.
Yeah,
right?
like people don't understand. Like, okay, cool, you gain 20 pounds in like 6 weeks. That's great. Now you don't look good. And then in powerlifting, your dots is considered off your weight to your lifts. So, okay, cool, you gained 20 pounds, but your lifts only went up 20 pounds. You just screwed yourself. You have to do, if you do it longevity wise, your total is going to look much better when you only gain 5 pounds of good, lean, actual muscle and not 10 pounds, 20 pounds of just slop, and then your numbers don't reflect what you just gained.
Yep. Yeah, without a doubt. And then are there any other goals looking forward in the future, just overall?
Honestly, genuinely speaking, I'm going to speak on a very personal level. I want to get my stuff together with my career. I'm an electrician right now. Is it something that I want to do long term? I truly don't know. I feel that for the fact that it's something that I'm even like contemplating, it definitely isn't. So whether I want to go to just a contracting business, or I've honestly got to the point where I've been doing this for 3 years, posting, and people would always ask me if I wanted to go into coaching or like training or anything like that. I would always say no because I'm like, well, I don't want to burn myself out from the gym. It's like one of my biggest hobbies, But the more and more I do social media, I start to get the understanding of like maybe I was like put on this planet to like motivate people because I have hundreds of people that have DM'd me from different countries. That's my favorite thing. Side note, that is my favorite thing people do. People will DM me from different countries, continents, everything. And they're like, dude, much love from like Italy, from Cuba, from Argentina, everything. I had a kid DM me. This is my favorite DM ever. I had a kid from Argentina tell me that without watching my videos, he never would have started powerlifting. And he goes, I just won my country's like his regionals, like for his powerlifting meet. And he was like, without you, I wouldn't have done this. I should be going to worlds, whatever, something like that. That made me want to cry. That was like knowing that I impact people is one of my favorite things because like I'm just another kid that goes to the gym. But for the fact that I make content for people that impacts them to do better, I love that. And for that reason, I've kind of like started leaning into it. I'm like, maybe I should kind of embrace the fitness persona a little bit more and try to make money through it. Maybe I should try to like coach people and train people because I do have a very, very well-rounded education with lifting. I've been doing this for 8 years. I've helped multiple people lose weight, gain weight, whatever it may be. So it's like, maybe, doing the trade route isn't for me, and maybe I should really kind of like get it together and pursue something that I know I love and actually I'm like, moderately good at.
Yeah.
So truly, future does, can't predict the future, but I can definitely line myself up for where I want to be at.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great place to wrap this up.
Absolutely, brother.
100. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you very much,
for
man.
making the drive. Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
100%.
Absolutely, man.
Appreciate you coming. Best of luck. I know you got some gym stuff going on tonight, all that stuff. So looking
Yes,
forward
sir.
to see what you can do in the future. We'll
Absolutely,
be here
man.
for it.
I appreciate having me on, truly. Thank you.
100%. Well, Motive Podcast, Leo Kosach, Kyle Cohen, Tyler Petroff, signing off. Peace.